So again, just like what happens as far as just I'm going to try to sound the best I can, regardless of how many people are around, because I know that's good for me, and it's also good for the people around. You know, they'll also continue the reps and make things you know the same, regardless if you're in in-ear monitors in front of everybody at Panther Stadium trying to have to deal with that delay, or singing the anthem for like at a Ruth's Chris Steakhouse for an 80th birthday that is like because like they've been Canes fans for at least as long as I've been singing. So just trying to keep it equal. That takes time though. I'm never ever asking any musician to be like, hey, get excited for Jimmy's Pub on July 14th. It's going to be super hot and there's going to be 9 people there. But you there's been so many gigs where there's been a handful of people
Yeah.
and I've ended up in their backyard for good money or doing their weddings or knowing somebody else. I guess
Mhm.
it's just being humble and getting ready for anything and just, again, to be paid to be a musician is an absolute gift. So, happy to be here. you know.
Yeah, and yeah, my wife and I, this past Valentine's Day, we went down to the beach down near Tops. Well, actually, it was at Topsail Beach. We went down there, and there's a little steakhouse that was there,
Yep.
and we went there, went out to eat there, and we go in and we get seated, and there's this guy over in the corner, and he's live playing, and I was like, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that. I like the small, intimate, things like that, where it gives a different vibe to the or a different feeling to the building. Instead of having like your music playing overhead, you got somebody live there. It just adds to the mood and
Yeah.
to the venue.
100%.
And so when you perform at the Canes games, um, do you get to mingle with the players any at all, or that much, or is it like
So,
pretty much?
again, like what being the fan that I am, I've asked more importantly for tickets more than access to players as far as that goes, besides stipend. So I've kind of let that come to me. I've kind of let a lot of this come to me. Like I always like gear. I always like, like repping a fresh jersey or like something new. But yeah, I was able to meet a handful of them at the gala this past year. I've made a
Mhm.
lot of good friends. WEI Technology Solutions invited me to be a guest when they had went to the gala this year, and I was able to meet a lot of people, and it was interesting because like dressing nice and meeting everybody, and I kind of felt like one of the players, like because everybody's getting like kind of surrounded, and all of a sudden there's me, kind of getting surrounded like a player, which is exciting because I like the fact that I mean, besides it being an entirely good feeling, I mean, listen, you know damn well if you had everybody cheering you on, right? How good that would feel.
Oh yeah,
Hey, you're our lucky charm. You're our guy. I love it when you sing that anthem. That just feels good. That's not being, you know, like big headed or anything. So like it's exciting to appreciate and develop relationships with people that really appreciate what you're doing.
yeah.
But yeah, so I was able to meet Svash and oh man, Jordan Martinook, he's a goof, man. He is exactly what he portrays as. I imagine they toned that down a bit. He's funny. He's great. Was able to meet uh man, everybody's coming to my list. There was a handful of players.
Mhm.
Very cool. Actually, what's funny? I wanted to get a selfie with them, and one of the supervisors was like, "Hey, we're not letting." I was like, "Come on, man." I'm like, can I get a selfie with all the players? Like, no, okay. Sometimes you got to feel like like you're a part of the help sometimes, which is okay.
Yeah,
I'm not making millions of dollars on a multi-year contract. I'm just lucky enough to have provided a solid anthem for the for the locals.
yeah,
So
yeah. Yeah, and I can see where you're going with that. I feel the same way. When I started the group, Carolina
yeah,
Hurricanes fans only. When I started that group, I started it with just a handful of people,
yep,
and it was pretty much me, my wife, and a few friends. And I was like, and I told my wife, and I was sitting there, I was thinking to myself, if this thing, if it does anything, then I'll be lucky.
Yeah.
And here we are. We're just under 15. It's been 2 years now. We're just under 1,500 members or
Yeah.
fans, and we have you in the group. We have some of the players' family members in the group. Um, we have a member, Jalen Chatfield's family is in the group, and then there's a couple of other players whose family members are in the group. And to know that, I was like, wow, that's freaking awesome. And now
It's
we've grown.
it's well, the thing is, you like what you're providing and what you're doing is making a community, and it doesn't. But what the nice thing is, it doesn't matter the level of where, you got Jim, you got me, you got ALD, you got, Jalen. Like, so like again, like the whole the Canes do a great job, and this community does a great job making it a whole family type thing, regardless of where the level of what they're doing at the Canes, whether you're sitting in the high threes, whether
Mhm.
you're in a box in the ones, whether you're, got an $8 million 3-year contract, or you're singing 90 seconds for the anthem. So like it's one of those great things about this, what you provided. Well done for doing it.
Yeah, and and my co-host Josh Brinson, he he sits there and he tells me like all the time. He's like, "Dude, look at what you've done." I was like, "I haven't done anything. This, yeah, I was the mind storm behind it, but it's all the it's all the members, it's all the fans who post stuff, it's all the fans who do stuff. It's not just me. It's and we got to the point where we started doing giveaways. We were doing like
Sure.
prediction games during the season on game night. I would post a predict, and it was I was paying for that. I was paying for those prizes and shipping them out, and on my own
Oh yeah.
money. And then we were fortunate enough to gain sponsors, and now they ship those out, and we beneficiary from it as
Yeah.
well by sampling products on during the lives and stuff like that, and advertising for them in the group. And it's like you said, you see where you were, and then you just and you just let things happen. And that's how I've approached this, is just like just let it happen. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If it don't, then no big deal. And to be fortunate enough to be able to connect with people like you and like Jeff Daniels, for Pete's sake. I never thought, if you'd
Oh
asked me
yeah.
2 years ago when I had 15 people in the group, do you think your group's going to ever reach 1,500? Do you think you'd ever have an interview with a coach, or have an interview with you, or whoever, super fan, Marshmallow Caniac, for Pete's sake? No,
Sure.
I wouldn't. No, I no. And so whenever those things happen, it's like, wow, that just happened. And I'm sure you've had the
It
same
also
things happen
shows
to
you
you as
how
well, like you're talking
it
about.
just yeah, no, it just shows you like it shows you how, again, you know, we're not sitting in Madison Square Garden where the 100s are like, all the um, like the financial district, and there's really not a lot going on, but like it being really more prominent in the twos and threes, fan wise, and just like you walk into, Lenovo Center, and you just see like it doesn't matter where you're sitting. It doesn't matter who you're sitting next to. It just seems to everybody seems to be on the same page, and
Yeah,
everybody really appreciates why we're there and what's happening. They're there for Canes hockey.
yeah,
And again, I can't say, like just what Roddy's done for the culture. Like all these things about, oh, we got to fire him, like, oh, like it's the way that, like, again, like, and you see how the NHL can, like, oh, like another failed season for Roddy, and like the answer is that's what do you mean? You
yeah,
know, pretty sure that like the Islanders or, like who's the bottom of like Vancouver or like, like somebody like, I mean, like,
Anaheim
like just
Ducks.
bottom of the barrel has been struggling in the NHL. So still has, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
like we're talking about and like just an unprecedented time being in the playoffs. And I don't care if he keeps like, of course, we're not hoisting the hardware yet, but I mean,
It's
he's
coming.
changed the entire nation.
Yeah, he has.
You know,
It,
I mean, it
Josh,
feels like it's coming.
yeah,
It truly feels like it's coming.
yeah, I think so. And yeah, Josh and I, we've talked about that, and over the past couple of seasons, and we talk about, what we perceive as, the pieces that we need to pick up. And, in this off season, I think we picked up some pretty key pieces that's going to help us advance a little bit further.
Yeah.
And I think by mid-season we'll have some more pieces added, at the
Hmm.
cost of maybe getting rid of a player or two. But I think we'll end up getting some
Sure, but
pieces in that'll make us better where we will. And my prediction, I told Jeff Daniels this, I'm telling you this, and I told Josh and others this,
sure.
before the season even starts, before we even made trade number one, before we did draft number one, this season, the Carolina Hurricanes is going to make it to the Stanley Cup Finals. They're going to be there.
Boy, I hope
I
that,
have
man.
no doubt. I and I
Love
know
it.
I just feel it. It's there, and it'll be
Seems to be.
awesome. It'll be awesome to see you there and performing in the Stanley Cup Finals in the championship round, and that'll be exciting. That'll be really exciting.
Oh yeah,
Um,
indeed.
and it's there was I've shared this before. There was a guy that went to the playoffs this past season, and he went to one of the games. It was I think it was game. Let me look on the puck games. It was game three, I think, or game two, three. I think it was game four. He went to four, three, four. No, game five. I'm sorry, game five. Yeah, game five. When we came back to Lenovo, and he went to that game, and he's like, man, he didn't have any expectation of what was going to happen or how of anything, and he comes in. He pulls for another team, and he just goes around to different venues
Sure.
and watches games and takes it in. He's like, man, he says, I've never been to a place where you go in and as you're coming in, you see fans out in the parking lot tailgating like they're at a football game. And then you get inside and people are just like energetic and it's energy from start to finish. And it's so loud and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's pretty awesome.
It's interesting that, like, again, I'll say that too. Saturday game day, any day of the week, if the Canes are playing.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday football game day,
Yeah.
collegially, if the Canes are playing, like that's the, like that's everybody's showing out. I love it so much. You
Yeah.
know.
It is truly a different
Yeah.
atmosphere, even different from going to football games. And I go to football games here and there whenever I'm able to, mostly up at East Carolina, but that's where my
Yeah.
family went to school and stuff. So we go to their football games there, and even there, it's a
Hey
different.
man, you got to get me an anthem you got to get me an anthem for the Pirates, man. Let's go.
Hey, if I can try, I'm try and see who I can get up with. And I can try and hook you up, man. I can
Indeed.
look up and
Now
see
the
if I
collegiate
can.
ones are tough, and I'll tell you why. Because usually they have the bands doing it, and it's just one of those collegiate things, and I appreciate that so much too. But
Yeah, yeah. But
yeah,
I I can look into it and see what I can see if I can get some phone number
sure,
stuff for you. But
indeed. You never know.
I seriously, I'll look into that for you. But and
Awesome.
you look at that atmosphere, and you look at everybody. You walk through the parking lot, and everybody's a friend. Everybody's like, hey, and high fiving and this, that, and the other. And you start yelling, "Let's go, Ken!" And everybody's joining in, and you know. spitting food out of their mouth, yelling it or whatever,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, and then you get inside and it's a real awesome atmosphere. And another thing that I like about the Hurricanes that I haven't really seen from other teams is how they how they intermingle with the fans and how the players are more accessible to the fans than they are at other venues. I mean, you wait outside and
Hmm.
where they come out at and they come out and they'll stop and sign autographs and take pictures and whatever else you want with them. And I haven't seen that anywhere else either. Maybe on a very very limited scale, but not
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, Lenovo Center is in a good place where it's like it's its own little thing, you know. And we'll see what changes the Lenovo Center, like Lenovo makes as far as that goes. But up to this point, I completely agree with you. I think it's just everything's within reach, within reason. And I think that's what the Canes country was trying to do in the first place. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
it's the most collegiate professional team you're gonna find. And I mean that not talent wise, but fan wise,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
What
yeah,
happens around the building fan wise, it's just, I wish more professional teams would take this approach,
yeah.
you know?
And you
Yeah.
mentioned that, and you look, it's the most collegiate professional team. Well, you look, you got a couple of hours east, you got ECU, and then you got Duke, you got Wake Forest, you got UNC and NC State right there in the backyard of Lenovo. And so,
Don't forget
and
NCCU, man. They're right there too. Those Eagles are killing it.
yeah, true. And they're all right there, and and a lot of the fans are collegiate football fans. So, and they bring that atmosphere to the Hurricanes, and I think that's unique to our
Yeah.
team. Um, but yeah, I'm not going to hold you too much longer because I know we're hitting that hour mark that I
Golden
promised
hour.
you. Uh,
Sure.
but so like I'll let you advertise a little bit. I mean, this is your interview. If people wanted
Sure.
to get up with you to do a wedding or a party or whatever, how would they go
Hmm.
about doing that?
Sure. Instagram is Adam Lee Decker Music, my full name. Facebook is Adam Lee Decker, my full name. And then www.adamleedeckermusic.com is the website, which has all the updated events, all updated public events that are happening and all those kinds of things. So please,
Sure.
let's
And
connect.
also,
Indeed.
I'll extend you this as well. Um, and I don't allow people to advertise in the group, but you know,
Sure.
you are a fixture of the Hurricanes by
Well,
by
thank you for saying that.
all stretches of the imagination. You really have you've become a staple, and people. I know at least I do, especially when I'm there live and at home both. Especially during the playoffs, I enjoy your performance of the national anthem, and I've also
Thank you.
been online and I've watched you play and sing and the little drum that you were talking about earlier. I've seen a video with you on there beating that and singing and stuff, and that was pretty cool, man. I gotta give it to you. But feel
Appreciate it,
free
man. Thank you.
anytime to go in the group and advertise your services. Because I know there's
All right.
people there that would most likely reach out to you to do that. And I know a lot of people
Sure.
probably don't know that you do those small things like that, like parties and you know
Mhm.
anniversaries and weddings and stuff. So feel
Yeah,
free.
like yeah. Yeah, I appreciate that. Like I said, with the most like the past couple of years, I've seen the trajectory of just people wanting to come up and say hey or just yelling the way that Wade Minster like I didn't say my name like that. Wade did, man. You know,
All right.
he's and everybody's screaming the way he does it, and shout out to him. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Also, fun fact, Adam Decker Music was taken in 2012. That's why it's my full name, right?
Right.
So
Okay.
it's the only reason.
Huh.
The Adam Decker Music shit, like, I'm not like it's I'm not so pretentious to use my full name. It was just a business move.
Right.
But here we are. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I'd love to reach out and just let the whole Canes Nation know, and fans of your page, just like I can give a flyer out, like the kind of I make flyers, and we can kind of get like a whole crew there. That'd be fun. So I
Sure.
appreciate
Sure.
that.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. And but yeah, just feel free. You're a member of the group, and for good reason. And I enjoy going online on YouTube and stuff, and listening to your music. Um, do you have any albums or anything that you've made, or CDs or whatever that you've made to?
So, like I said, there's back in the day, there's the band that I was there's the collegiate stuff that I was doing with the Fault Line, the way it sounds. Spaceship Days, the way it sounds. If you look that up, you're gonna hear some of the things that I did in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, or not mid 2000s. We're not there yet, but like the 2010s.
Yeah.
But those kinds of things. I do want to do some uh, original work. I'm actually starting to talk to a couple because I run some open mics as well. So please, like definitely a community guy. Like I bring a sound system, and like I bring some musicians, a ton of instruments and stuff like that. So all of a sudden, a single guitar I can be a full band with some back singers and all that stuff too. But try to make the music thing like a community approach, the way that you and the way the Canes have made their whole situation a community approach. So just get a hold of me. We'll have a great time.
Yeah, sure. I'd love to get up with you and hang out some. That'd be
Oh yeah,
pretty cool. Uh,
indeed.
yeah, go out for dinner one night or something with the wives and hang out. That'd be awesome.
That sounds good to me.
All righty, Adam. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining me here. I have thoroughly enjoyed talking to you and getting to know you a little bit better, not just as a performer, but as a person as well. And yeah, I would love to reach out to you sometime when you're not busy and get up there Raleigh and hang out with you a little bit.
Kyle, same. I appreciate what you've been doing for the community. It's impressive what you've accomplished so far, and I'm just glad to be a part of it, man. Keep going.
Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you more on
Absolutely.
in the playoffs and around. And
The season starts October 7th. I don't know, like they haven't announced the season yet, but I'll be there night one. So,
yep, awesome deal. And
all right,
any
man.
places that you're going
Hey,
to be
listen, have a great
performing?
night, man. Thank you.
Is there any places
Yeah,
that
no,
you'll
no,
be
yeah,
performing locally here in the next few weeks or so?
sure. And can I get that up quickly enough? No, I can't, but please check out Adam Lee Decker Music,
Okay.
and to check out my events page, and it'll be right there for you. So,
Okay, awesome. And also, you can post those in the group too, as you will. When you're going to be
all right,
performing.
I sure will. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, I
I will do
appreciate
that very
your time,
much.
Adam, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I thank you for taking your time out of your schedule and your wife's schedule to have this interview with you and to chat with you.
Appreciate to be a
Awesome.
fellow Caniac like yourself, and I appreciate all the Caniacs fans, and let's go Canes.
Let's go, Canes.